Hi folks, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're making Trinidadian Pholourie with Chef Kerry from Bring Me Some Vegan. This incredible local chef became a self-proclaimed accidental vegan when his love for food from Trinidad met with his desire to cook in a delicious and sustainable way. My name is Polly. Growing up, my family didn't spend much time cooking together, and I never inherited a cookbook of time-honored recipes. So I'm on a mission to meet everyday people from the community and learn the amazing stories behind their cherished recipes, in order to build a cookbook that one day I can pass on. Welcome to Generation Kitchen.
How I discovered cooking was basically through my mom. While growing up, we didn't have I guess the traditional lifestyle in a way, because we grew up a little bit poor as we came from Trinidad to Canada. And she did her best. She found things to eat, and she got it from, nothing. She made it from nothing. Bring Me Some's ultimate goal would be to help the animals. We really do want to, and that's our main goal, is to reduce the consumption of animal byproducts. That's it. The one thing people don't understand about veganism is the fact that it's not just about broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. That's not the is-all, end-all when it comes to veganism. Among that is a vast array of different foods that we use, that we enjoy, comfort foods, fast foods, and I'm trying to be the one to create or help add to that list of foods that meat eaters can absolutely enjoy just as well as people that are vegan. Now in Trinidad, there are a few street foods that really shine. One is doubles and the other is called Pholourie. Coincidentally, it's actually a vegan product. It has no animal byproducts whatsoever. It's accidentally vegan. So you don't need to be a vegan to enjoy it. And that's one of the products that, again, I grew up eating and enjoying, so I would love to show people how to make that today.
To make our Pholourie, you'll need 2 cups of flour, a 1/4 cup of split pea powder, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, 2 teaspoons of yeast, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 2 cups of room temperature water, 3 cloves of garlic, 2 sprigs of cilantro, half of a hot pepper, usually Scotch bonnet, and 3½ cups of vegetable oil for frying. And for the sauce, we'll need 2 pounds of mango, 1 cup of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of curry, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 3 cloves of garlic minced, 1 tablespoon of cilantro, a cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of oil. All right, so what's the first thing to do?
Okay, so we already have the items or the ingredients measured out a little bit here. We're essentially just going to put it all together.
Amazing.
So we're going to start with the flour.
Okay. All right.
All right, so this is, I believe, 2 cups of flour. You're going to take this and you're going to sift it. Actually, if you can grab the sifter. And you're sort of going to place it over exactly and then put it in the sifter.
All right.
So the next one is the split pea flour.
Okay.
So now that we have that in, we can start with the sugar and salt. Sometimes I just put it all in together.
Perfect. Got these. And we'll take this back. Sticking to the bottom a little bit. That's okay.
So we're going to actually take away the whisk for now.
Okay.
And then just add in the turmeric. So next would be the yeast, actually. 2 teaspoons of yeast.
All right. Dump that in.
Yep. And then we have, I believe, 2 teaspoons of baking powder.
Yep. That looks about like 2.
So now is where we'll whisk it into the bowl.
Okay. So in general, this is what you would do with sifting, is you would put all of the ingredients in on top first.
Exactly. Once we sift it, we're going to place it back in here and then set aside the dry ingredients for now.
Okay.
Okay?
Awesome.
All right, so now this is where we're going to need the pepper. One pepper would suffice.
Okay.
Now, I said a medium pepper in the in how I would describe it. There are obviously several sizes. Now, it's just simply based on your heat preference or tolerance.
Okay.
Because even the size of the pepper may not completely matter. So, for example, this is what I would consider medium pepper. However, if you keep the seeds in, like if you keep like most of the seeds from the inside of the pepper into your product, then it will be extremely hot. To de-seed them, still it will be spicy, but not as spicy if you kept them in.
Right.
So it will be up to you on what you would like to do. So would you like to keep a lot more heat? Would you like to keep it a little bit milder?
The ultimate question.
Yes.
We can go a little hotter, yeah, for sure.
All right, deal. So what we'll do then is we'll do a smaller one, and we'll keep the pepper.
Okay.
The seeds, I mean.
Yes, the seeds, okay.
And you're okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
I give you my full consent.
All right, this is where you have to sign that waiver. Okay?
Exactly, yeah.
Right. So let's cut that. We're going to cut the stem or just pick the stem off.
Okay, all right.
Ooh.
The gloves.
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
There you
go. All right.
Okay, so now you're going to just sort of give this a slight dice. So just cut it in pretty much 4 quarters. So again, as you can see, there's the seeds. Now, again, you can de-seed it more. You can keep more seeds in. If you just want to keep it all, you just go for it.
Okay.
All right.
Let's keep them all.
Let's keep them all.
Let's see what happens.
So it's going to be bad, but all right, we're going to put it in here.
All right.
And then we're going to start with the garlic. You're going to get 4 cloves of garlic.
Yeah, I'm a garlic lover too.
It's the best thing in the world. Perfect. That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Thank you. Yes. Someone else taught me this yesterday.
Ooh, I see that. I mean, technically, if you want to take off the gloves at this point, you can. It's just when working with the peppers, I always caution on the side of safety first.
I appreciate it for sure. There we go. Yeah, just get a bit more dexterity in my hands that way.
So now that you've put in the garlic and the pepper, you need one more, which is the cilantro.
Alrighty. Just all of this in there?
So I like to work with a lot less stem. Basically everything here, but the thicker part of the stem.
So like there?
Exactly.
Okay. And all of that?
All of that goes in.
All right.
Perfect. The thing is, the stem has a lot more flavor than the leaves, but it also adds texture that we don't really want into a light, airy Pholourie. So that's why we're taking out the more dominant stem, and then we're keeping the lighter ones.
Perfect.
All right. So this is where you're going to do a drum solo, and you're going to be pretty much kind of mashing until you create a paste.
Okay.
Okay, so just get in there, unleash your fury, just keep going. You want to be a little bit more like
aggressive.
Exactly.
Now, could you do this in a blender or something if you didn't have a mortar and pestle?
Yes. The thing is, the difference between a mortar and pestle versus like a food processor or a really high-powered blender is still that you're getting a fine granulated product. Like you're getting the really granulated pieces of garlic rather than like the garlic juices and the granulates. You know, so. You're getting more. You're getting fiber, and it can be strangely dispersed amongst your product. But if you get like the juice and the fiber of a garlic, for example, it kind of permeates the whole product, and then you get a more richer or more garlicky tasting product in this case.
Okay.
And so you want to keep going until you get like a nice paste. As you can see, it's already becoming pasty. You want to keep going until it's kind of like you almost don't see any other pieces in there of garlic, or it's just one amalgamated product.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. So now you're going to take this mixture, scrape it down as much as you can, and you're going to put it into the bowl.
Okay.
gonna add the water now.
Okay. Just pour it right in?
Pour it right in.
Don't want to make the same mistake as the sifter.
All good. Beautiful. So now we're gonna need some more arm strength. So we're gonna grab the whisk.
All right.
If it helps, sometimes I grab, like, because it's like a longer whisk, if you grab it lower, it gives you more stability.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like a paintbrush or a
Exactly.
pencil.
Exactly. All right, are you happy with that so far? There you go. That's sort of the consistency you want, almost like gloop. I don't know if that's a word, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah. So we're gonna cover this and let this rest for a little while?
Yep.
All right, so
Perfect.
bring that out of the way.
So now we're gonna start the sauce. So while that Pholourie sits, we're gonna time for about 20 minutes. Let it sit. We're gonna take a look at it to see how much it's risen, and then we'll go from there. But in that time, we'll do our sauce. So you'll need, let's fill this up.
All right.
So we'll do some mango.
All this mango? Ooh.
Yes.
And do you use a particular kind of mango? Because I know that there's like the yellow ones, and then there's the ones that we brought in today.
This particular one is called sweet mango.
Okay.
We're looking for, we don't need it to be ripe. If it's ripe, you're not going to get the same consistency. So you're looking for green mango or young mango just before it starts to ripen.
All right, so what's next?
So next, we're going to put in the sugar.
Okay.
Use this sugar.
All right.
And we're going to use a 3/4 cup.
Oh, and I'll do it over here so I can level it.
Perfect. All right, so next, so that's going to be 1 teaspoon of turmeric.
Okay. And I'm just going to level on the side of the bowl as best I can.
Perfect. And you're going to do the same measurement for the curry.
Okay. All right, and then next on the list?
So we'll do 1 teaspoon salt. And then we will do, again, based on your heat preference, half a Scotch bonnet pepper, or you can do a full one.
Oh, okay.
Or you can keep the seeds on, you can do whatever you want, but usually it calls for just about a half
okay.
one.
We'll go for the half.
All right, deal. So we'll grab any one that you want. Okay, you grab the biggest one. I mean,
I'll grab this one.
All
This
right,
one's
deal.
beautiful.
All right, that's pretty. Okay, so you're gonna take your knife and just cut it down the middle.
Okay.
Again, keep the seeds in if you want it hotter. Keep the seeds out if you don't. That's your preference.
All right. I will keep the seeds in.
Perfect.
Just take that one out.
Just put it all in.
All right.
Beautiful.
This off to the side.
Yep. And now you add your teaspoon of salt.
Okay. All right. Teaspoon of salt.
Perfect. So now what you can do is get your cilantro ready.
Okay.
So again, this is where I use just about what a 1/4 cup unpacked would be, meaning that you're not gonna like stuff it in there.
Okay.
So pretty much fill up to about half of that.
Okay.
And it should be okay.
And the stems don't matter for this?
The stems don't matter for this one.
Okay. There we go.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're just gonna put that in there as well.
All right. Lovely.
And you'll put in now your water. I think I set aside for you.
Thank you.
It's your water. And now you'll also prepare 2 cloves of garlic.
Okay.
So now that we have all our ingredients, we're gonna blend it to a very smooth consistency, something reminiscent of like a smoothie, you know, so no chunks, nothing like that, or as very little chunks as you can, because it will still have a lot of the fibers obviously in it, but we're gonna sort of cook that down in an instant with a high heat.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do for now.
Wonderful.
Okay.
All right, so we've finished blending,
Yes.
and now we're moving to the stove.
Oh, yes, we are. All
Okay.
right. So now this is where it becomes, like, it's easy, but it's hard. Everything about cooking is actually.
That's a good life lesson for cooking in general.
So this is the puree batter or the pureed mix that you made. Now, this is the simple part, is to pour it in, start the oven, the stove.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Look at that color.
Beautiful. Okay, so now you'll need this. This is gonna be your best friend for the next 6 minutes or so. So you're gonna turn it on high.
Okay.
And you're gonna just pretty much keep like once it starts to bubble, your goal is essentially not to let it burn.
Okay.
Meaning that the bottom this is a sugar-based product, so it tends to burn faster than if you just were boiling water and noodles or something.
Right.
So yeah, just kind of keep, once it gets to starts to heat up, just keep stirring while, especially you want it just to get to a massive boiling point. Once that's done, that's where you kind of have to put in the muscle that you gained earlier from your pounding session. Just pretty much just use that muscle and keep going. Keep stirring.
Okay.
So you can turn it off for a second. If you have a spoon, just kind of a little taste, make sure it's cool, and then see if that's sort of what you're looking for. Also, this is a time where you can kind of critique my recipe if you like.
Oh my gosh, I would never. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, did I bite off more than I can chew with the spice?
Oh, that's actually a fair point. That's a fair point. So anything that you feel is missing from it, anything that like you would want more of if you were to like say, you know what, I could go with a little bit more of this, more of that.
I'm not sure. It's delicious.
Good.
And it's not too spicy at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of people to serve, so we'll see what...
see what everyone else thinks.
See what everyone else thinks.
That's right.
So then, this is done. So this is done. So now we can set this aside, and we can sort of take a look at our batter and see how much it's risen, and we can go from there.
Awesome. All right.
All right, this is the fun part. Well, again, comes with its hazards. Oil is dangerous, period.
I appreciate all the warnings.
It's just that I've worked with, this is what I do. I fry for a living, literally, and oil is my most beloved thing and the scariest thing I've ever experienced.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this is heated just about right. So we're gonna do a couple now. So what we're looking for is, we're looking at it almost like donut holes or Timbits, that kind of thing. This is gonna be a little smaller. We're using about a 2.5 tablespoon, or this is actually a cookie scooper.
Okay.
So basically, we're gonna try to deflate this first because it's a lot of air from the yeast. So we're gonna deflate a little bit. So you can just take like a spoon or a whisk and just kind of mix it around. Just get in there and just kind of deflate it a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can see it's a little more glutinous from the yeast.
From the yeast, exactly. So now we're gonna basically just, I'll do a couple, and then you can do a couple if you like.
Okay.
So we're gonna try to just get, just a spoonful, as best as you can, because you're gonna have difficulty keeping the spoon clean itself. So but if you can, try. If not, it's okay.
All right.
You don't want to hold it up too high and then drop it, or else it's gonna splash. So just kind of hold it over and drop it, and you could go again. Make sure it's there, and drop it. You can do another one just for good measure. There you go. And now you're going to time it for 3 minutes.
Okay.
Just kind of shake it in and drop it in. Just be careful. Perfect. So using a ladle, or a cookie ladle, I guess, is new. I mean, realistically, how it's done is you would take your hand and then you scoop up a lot and then kind of squeeze it through your palm.
Oh, neat.
And it kind of falls into a perfect orb. That's for the professionals like my mom, my grandmother, and everyone back in Trinidad. But
the daredevils.
The daredevils. But for me, I use a cookie scooper.
And so how do we know when these are done?
So I timed the recipe for about 3 minutes. And what you want to do is just sort of kind of just the way that you would donut holes or donuts in general, you just kind of flip it. So use your, and just kind of touch it on the end, and it usually just kind of flips over. I don't like to crowd the oil in any case, whether you're doing it on a stovetop in a pot of oil and using a thermometer to kind of confirm the heat. But obviously, the more items you put into the oil, it will cool the oil down, and it would cause the oil to be, or the pholourie to get like become a sponge, and it will absorb a lot of the oil. So you want to keep it at a high temperature, and then cook it at that for about 3 minutes or so.
Okay. All right, so once these are golden brown, we can plate them and then taste them.
Absolutely.
All righty. I cannot wait to try this.
It's gonna be good, trust me. So, okay, so however you like to plate, I'm not that creative. I just kind of put my slop in my food and my plate and then go for it, but let's make this look pretty. How do we do that?
All right. I think that we can probably just pop these in there. Or,
that works.
Excuse my fingers.
Oh, good.
Yep, they're nice and crispy. Can feel it.
Beautiful. You can get the sauce now.
All right.
And it's perfect because it's like now cool to a room temperature.
Yes, yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll get our little bowl here. Oh, wow. Yeah, it really went back to the mango yellow.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And also, what's a great pairing is we have our Bring Me Some Vegan Honey, and we have the Bring Me Some Hot Honey. This is the one that I would suggest. I personally can't wait to try it with this one, but the vegan honey, again, it's literally this, like we try to make it as similar as possible, if not spot on, to regular honey. So go for it.
All right. All right. I'm going to pick up this beautiful one on top.
All right.
And
Should
just
I get
dip.
one too?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get one too then. And again, these are finger foods, so definitely this is not wrong to be eating it in this way. This is polite.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep. That is so good.
Really, it really is.
It's so airy inside. I don't know if it'll pick it up, but like the bubbles in there are insane in the middle.
And my mom always says the best evidence of a good pholourie is maximum 2 bites. Because if it's too heavy, you're sort of like, and you have to go back for another one and go back. But if you can basically just bite it once, bite it twice, that's it. And that's how you know it's working.
Cooking with Chef Kerry was a pleasure for all the senses. I was so focused on the taste, sight, and smell of the pholourie that I forgot that this dish was completely animal product free. I wonder what other accidentally vegan recipes are out there. Maybe it's time I go and look.